Teaching is a hard job, especially if you're teaching middle school heads who aren't even people yet. Let's face it, in middle school, you were treated like animals. You weren't even people. They put you in small classrooms where you were sitting close to each other, like uncomfortably close, while your hormones were pumping, you were changing and getting hairier and grosser by the day. You get the idea. That's what teachers gotta deal with on a day-to-day basis because they picked that as their job. They chose to be in a classroom with kids for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 6 if you have to take the shift for Saturday detention, which I don't really believe in. Like, what's the point of having kids in school on the weekend where you could either A, be grading your papers at home and watching TV? Like, it made no sense to me. But let's get back to the story. Okay, my teacher was Mr. Teachman. He was a pretty chill guy. He loved his kids. He loved his job. We never really had any big problems with him. He looked like imagine Jeff Bezos as a fatter version of himself. Not to say my teacher was fat, because he was, pretty good built for his age, but he did have a dad gut. He didn't ever go off on us. He was always super nice. We never had a problem. We were the perfect class, if you dig. Like, we didn't give him more trouble than we wanted to. But this strange day was not a good day. Not for any of us, especially for my boy Steven. He did not deserve what was gonna happen this day, because it was based around him. Like, he wasn't in trouble, but he kind of was. I don't know. Like, it's like, there's a no tolerance policy or whatever they call it. The no bullshit policy in school. We were in class and we were all reading a book. We all had assigned sections to read, so nobody had to pick anybody and put that shame on anybody else who had to read. We sat there and we were cool until one kid decided to be funny. I think my boy Steven said something like, the times were getting harder. And then one kid wanted to say something like, ha! That's what she said. And then everything went from everyone being cool and chill to the teacher losing his... He did not want anything to disturb this, and we later found out why, but he was going ham on him. I'm pretty sure at the end of this, the vice principal had to come in and talk to him and talk to the kids and talk to us afterwards and explain what just happened. But he went off on this kid, kept saying things like, yeah, that's not how you act in the class. Regular kid, middle school teacher stuff. And then after that, my boy Steven felt bad for the kid because he wasn't even offended. He was not fazed at all, and he walked up to them while he was yelling and said, sir, that did not affect me whatsoever. Can we just drop it? And that made the situation even worse, because he wasn't yelling at the kid about my boy. He was yelling at the kid about his own problem. Okay, so let me explain to you guys what actually went down and what he wanted to do for this special book, because it's about the book that makes it worse. The book was about his life as a kid, and it had all of his trials, tribulations, everything he had to deal with and overcome into it. He poured his heart and soul out into this book, and then a kid in middle school broke that down. He made it a joke. So now that I'm a grown-up, I know how much that hurts when people make fun of the things that you worked hard on. But as a kid, I didn't know shit, man. I was just there. I didn't know what was going on. I was just, a little kid. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, what? What's going on? So he said to everybody, this is his book. He made this about his life. He wanted everyone to see how he grew up and see how he got to the position he is as a middle school teacher trying to teach and so young minds. But again, he was teaching a class full of 7th grade kids. And I will never forget that day, just because I never saw that kid again. I know you're sorry.